Hello and welcome. I'm Leanne Gerrans and you're watching W News broadcasting live from the Al Arabiya headquarters. These are our top stories. President Trump's bid to own and take over the Gaza Strip is met with fury and criticism from both global leaders and Gazans. Now, as Simon mentioned, Saudi Arabia has said it would not establish ties with Israel without the creation of a Palestinian state. Earlier today, Saudi's foreign ministry said the country rejected any attempts to displace Palestinians from their homeland and stressed its position on a Palestinian state was not up for negotiation. Let's get into this further with Dr.Abdulaziz Sager, chairman of the Gulf Research Centre. Dr. Abdulaziz, a pleasure to have you on the show. As we mentioned, Saudi Arabia's position has always been a two-state solution. After Trump's comments last night, is a two-state solution over?
Good evening to you and to all your audience, wherever they are. I think we were all shocked to hear what President Trump had said last night. This is why the Saudi response to such a statement came immediately after 3 hours of that statement in the end of the night for us in this part of the world. But again, the Saudi official statement came very clearly emphasizing what the Crown Prince have said before, whether during the Shura Council opening speech for the year or during the Arab Islamic Summit that was held in Riyadh. And both of those statements clearly indicated that without a two-state solution, there will be no normalization with Israel. The question is, what is he up to, President Trump, and what are the possibilities after what he said? Saudi have clearly disagreed with any displacement of any Palestinian, or have also disagreed about forcing them to leave the country under any condition. Some of President Trump's statement, it's indicate clearly that maybe he is not well informed or well briefed by his advisor or his group about the situation in Gaza when he talked about the retaining of the people of Gaza. As your report clearly stated, they have never left Gaza, they are always there. But having that position, it was not only Saudi Arabia, it was country in the European side and Australia, on the France, Spain, many countries on the Arab world and outside the Arab world have criticized this sort of idea has been said by President Trump about the displacement of the Palestinian and the US replacing them in Gaza. The Palestinians will not live there, and they have the right of determination to determine about their country and their future. And by the way, in 1948, it is the right, self-right of determination was the only means that the Israelis have used to get a recognition at the UN and to create their own state. There is no question in the Arab world about the coexistent right of the Palestinian and the Israeli, but the Israeli, neither the American or anybody has the right to force the people of Gaza to leave Gaza or to go somewhere else, or even push Egypt or Jordan to accept refugees or people from the Palestinian side to live there. I think we are going to face a 3 different scenario now. It's either he's going to withdraw his statement and change it, as he always escalate and elevate his demand in a lot of his speeches and a lot of his demand. Second, no, he will be forced to accept the international position which reject what he have said clearly. And third, maybe he will try to find a sort of a compromise between the Palestinian demand and the American statement that he said. And in that case, he still needs the Arab world to support some of his idea, which include, putting maximum pressure in Iran, or bringing the oil prices down if he's going to stop Iran from selling oil, or getting their oil into the market. Who will replace that? So he cannot do, even in the Ukrainian-Russian crisis, he still is going to need the Middle East to be part of, this sort of solution. But, we just have to wait and see how is he going to respond to that. But the Saudi position by the senior, by the highest, political official in Saudi Arabia came as a response, is no longer a hidden, quiet policy has been adopted. He came out clearly and stated, and this is why it was important from the Saudi side to respond to, such a statement.
Doctor, we know Benjamin Netanyahu would like to do a normalization deal with the Arab world, and Saudi Arabia would be a really important part of this. Is this deal between Saudi and Israel that could potentially happen now off the table? It's not going to happen after these comments.
Well, after these comments, Baby Netanyahu and Trump need to understand that there will be no changes in the position. What has been, this position of Saudi Arabia has been stated to the previous administration and to the current administration. The change came from their side, from Trump's side, not from the Saudi or the Arab, the Palestinian side. They all accepted the two-state solution. They all accepted the Arab initiative. And the fact that he is saying there is no more two-state solution, maybe he means physically because of the damage that America have allowed Israel to destroy more than 86% of the housing in Gaza. But I think the Gaza people are willing to stay where they are and to find the temporary accommodation and to deal with all their life requirement until they're able to rebuild their houses and to stay there. They will never leave their country. They rather die instead of leaving. And unfortunately, the U.S. have allowed the Israeli to go in full-fledged and kill and do a completely genocide murder in Gaza by killing 50,000 people, and more than 120,000 still are injured badly. And we are still, honestly, we are shocked to see U.S. endorsing such a behavior from the Israeli side like this. But there will be no normalization unless there is a viable Palestinian state acceptable to the Palestinian.
Where does this leave the second stage of the ceasefire deal? Will Hamas now think the rules of engagement have changed?
Well, they have the right to think about that in case if they do, but I think Hamas still will fulfill, in my opinion, they will still fulfill their obligation because they need to get their people out, and they wanted also to appear in front of the international community that they have delivered what they promised to do.
Dr. Abdulaziz Sager, Chairman of the Gulf Research Centre, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you.